I mean, they're projected to lose between 2 and 400 million on this.
And to everyone who hates when I win, the winged victory came to the Louvre in June, and people still line up to see her. And I can only hope that despite my flaws, despite my cracks and my breaks, and there are many of them, that at every premiere, everything I do, people will wait in line.
Disney is scrambling to manage the fallout after the disastrous performance of the Snow White remake at the box office, which insiders are calling a $120 million failure. Executives are reportedly blaming each other, holding urgent closed-door crisis meetings, and here's the shocking twist. They're allegedly demanding compensation from their lead actress, Rachel Zegler.
The thing that really shocks me about this story, Disney and all these media companies, they invest hundreds of millions of dollars into these projects, right? Have they ever thought about maybe like a little bit of vulnerability study, opposition research, that sort of thing before you go and hire some Zoomer who's a lunatic?
Yes, you heard that correctly. Rumors are circulating that Disney might be forcing Rachel Zegler to repay part of the financial loss, citing brand damage, failed PR efforts, and a surge of negative publicity linked directly to her. This isn't just studio gossip. It could be an unprecedented move in the industry. Multiple insiders claim that after the disastrous opening weekend, a high-level executive meeting was convened to address the fallout. Allegedly, the discussion turned to whether Zegler's actions, such as her viral interviews mocking the original Snow White, her controversial political remarks, and her tone-deaf press tour, could be seen as a breach of her contractual obligations.
The original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Yeah.
Weird.
Super weird.
So we didn't do that this time.
So no prince or a different kind of prince?
We have a different approach to what I'm sure a lot of people will assume is a love story just because we cast a guy in the movie, Andrew Burnap, great dude. It's really not about the love story at all, which is really, really wonderful. And whether or not she finds love along the way is anybody's guess until 2024. All of Andrew's scenes could get cut. Who knows?
I'm going to stand there 18 hours in a dress of an iconic Disney princess. I deserve to be paid for every hour that it is streamed online.
Some sources even claim that legal teams were involved, weighing the possibility of invoking morality clauses or performance triggers hidden in Rachel Zegler's contract. This isn't just crisis management, it's corporate warfare, and Rachel could very well be its first casualty. What's even more shocking is the alleged tone of the meeting. According to one source, Disney's top executives were furious, not just disappointed. One executive reportedly shouted that Zegler had torched a billion-dollar brand in under a year, adding, "And we paid her to do it." Another insider claims the idea of financial restitution was met with widespread agreement in the room. While it's unclear whether that means clawing back bonuses, canceling back-end deals, or demanding a public apology, the sentiment was unmistakable. Rachel Zegler is no longer seen as an asset. She's now considered a liability.
And then they had to hire a special media consultant for her to follow her around all the time and make sure she didn't continue shitting on Snow White and Prince and young love and women who want to get married and Steven Spielberg, the executive producer of her previous movie, and white people who she claims wanted to know if she was really a Latina on her first movie.
And here's where it gets even messier. While the public sees Rachel posting apologies and attempting to backtrack, what they don't know is that those posts may not be entirely voluntary. Some sources close to the situation claim that Disney's PR team ghost-wrote parts of her apology, pressuring her to show remorse in order to quell fan outrage and soften the backlash. If these rumors hold any truth, Rachel Zegler isn't just being blamed for the flop. She's being made to pay for it, both literally and metaphorically. And if Disney actually succeeds in reclaiming damages or reshaping her contract terms, it could send shockwaves through the entire industry.
They've been in a full meltdown about this girl for a couple of years now, and how they had her tweet out like a little, "Yay, Snow White, can't wait, so excited, I love to play her." And she did it and got millions of views, and they were like, "Good job, Rachel." And then she, like, minutes later, followed it up with, "And never forget, free Palestine."
And isn't her co-star Jewish?
Yes, Gal Gadot, whatever.
Gadot.
I mean, what?
Yeah. They tried, they flew an executive, one of the producers, out to go visit personally with Rachel Zegler to say, "Could you please take that down? Because we understand you can have your political views. Those aren't really helpful while you're trying to build an audience for a movie. Maybe you could save them for like your diary and your friends, but like maybe not, maybe just take the tweet down." And she wouldn't.
Rachel Zegler is reportedly in complete shock, allegedly fighting back tears after learning about the financial disaster surrounding Snow White's release. Insiders claim she had been led to believe that this role would cement her place in Hollywood as Disney's next big star. Instead, she now finds herself at the center of a corporate firestorm. Her initial excitement about taking on such an iconic role has been completely overshadowed by the film's stunning underperformance and the overwhelming wave of criticism that followed.
So I don't think she's in the running toward the real Academy Awards.
What was once promoted as Disney's next big triumph is now being labeled one of the studio's most catastrophic box office failures in recent memory. The project was meant to be a cornerstone of Disney's ongoing strategy to reimagine their animated classics for modern audiences. But what they ended up with is a high-budget cautionary tale about the dangers of prioritizing modern messaging over storytelling. Critics are not only calling it a box office flop, but also a brand disaster that alienated both longtime fans and new viewers alike. The film, which seemed to have all the makings of a hit on paper, nostalgia, a massive budget, and a fresh-faced lead, has instead become a lightning rod for controversy. Many believe the failure wasn't just due to bad marketing or poor timing, but due to fundamental miscalculations in tone, casting, and public relations.
Isn't this the one where they actually took the dwarves out of the seven dwarves?
Yes. Yep. We have CGI dwarves now.
Okay, yeah, because little people didn't need jobs either.
It's Peter Dinklage wanted the whole field to himself. Went out there and was like,
ladder down behind.
Insulted him, unless it's me.
Yeah, he got money in Hollywood. Now he's like,
oh, nicely done, Smug. The ladder.
That was nicely done.
No, but I mean, he got his money acting as a little person. Now he's saying it's demeaning for them to have those roles. He acted as a dwarf on like the most popular show on TV for 10 years, made millions of dollars. Now he's like, how dare people hire dwarves to act as dwarfs? It's ridiculous. He got his money and then kicked the ladder down beyond.
Social media is awash with speculation, with viewers dissecting everything from behind-the-scenes drama to studio strategy, all searching for answers on how this seemingly unstoppable Disney machine could have misfired so badly. As it stands, Snow White is quickly becoming a textbook example of what can go wrong when a film loses touch with its core audience. From Zegler's inflammatory comments about the original to her divisive political views, and the film's overall deviation from its source material, it's clear that the audience disconnect wasn't accidental. It was baked into the very DNA of the project. Now the fallout is forcing Disney to reevaluate not just this movie, but the entire direction of its live-action remake empire.
It's also a generational thing. I mean, her generation has basically grown up being told every opinion you have, post it online, share it with the world. You're the most special person. The world revolves around you. Everyone has to change to fit your beliefs because you're so special and you're so important and everything you say is validated. That's your truth. And that's not going away anytime soon.
What was once seen as Disney's next big triumph has turned into one of its most catastrophic box office failures. The Snow White live-action remake, meant to modernize a beloved classic, has instead become a cautionary tale about the dangers of alienating audiences. From production delays, budget overruns, and a series of unfortunate events, the film's issues started long before its release. Rachel Zegler's controversial comments about the original Snow White and her push for a more modern take alienated fans and fueled the backlash. The film's underperformance at the box office, failing to even cover basic costs, only worsened matters. Disney scrambled to manage the fallout, but critics weren't convinced by Zegler's apology, viewing it as corporate damage control. The lack of positive buzz, combined with low box office returns, sent the project into freefall. Now, insiders are speculating that Zegler's future with Disney could be at risk, as her association with the film has damaged her reputation. For Disney, Snow White's failure isn't just a box office disaster. It's a warning about the perils of mishandling iconic franchises. Will Zegler be able to bounce back, or has her Disney fairy tale come to an end? Let us know your thoughts below.